Hey everybody, how's it going? Stoutman coming right back at you once again, and today I'm going to talk to you about the last little Yuletide haul that I got for myself because I am a greedy bastard. Well, because there was a really good deal on this website called SecondSpin, which is owned by FYE, so it's kind of like an FYE haul. But I'm not going to call it that because I have enough videos on my channel called FYE haul this and FYE haul that, and it's like, you know, this is SecondSpin. It's technically different. I don't know. All I know is that I paid, I think it was $60 or something like that for, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 Blu-rays. One of those is a double pack, so it's actually 16 movies. $60 for 16 movies. Came to a total of like $3 or $4 per title, something like that. I can't remember the exact math on it, but it was pretty damn low. Some of these titles came down to, with their sale price, probably like $1.50 to $2 each, and I'll note those when I come across them. And others came to around $5 or $6 each, and I'll note those when I come across them. But even then, pretty damn good deals for what they are. And then when you factor in just getting them all together for that deal, that's, you know, pretty damn awesome. Honestly, I don't think I actually paid $6 for anything in this list. I think the lowest I paid, if I remember correctly, was $5.18 or something like that. It's one of those deals where it was a certain percentage off, and after the percentage off it came to this price. You know, it's hard to say for sure exactly what the price is on everything, but regardless, let's just get started because this is probably going to be a pretty freaking long video. First up, I picked up a movie that I immediately watched after picking it up, actually. Like the second that I got it in, I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch this tonight. And that was Life of Pi. I had not seen this movie yet, but I really wanted to. And it was marked down on their site to like $2 or something like that. It was I think it was like $3 and then a certain percentage off. Something like that. Can you hear that? That's the fan of my computer going. Try to ignore that, but yes. Life of Pi, I had heard a lot of negative things about this movie. I had heard this movie sucked and was not worth watching, let alone buying. But I really wanted to see it because I knew there were a lot of cool special effects in this movie. I knew that they did some really cool stuff with this movie. And I wanted to see what they managed to do with this movie. Sure enough, like, aside from a few scenes that looked a tad unrealistic, everything else looked extremely, extraordinarily real. Which was definitely a task considering some of the stuff that you were seeing in this movie. But yeah, it was really awesome to see the level of detail that this technology has gotten to. Apparently there's like an hour-long documentary on here, or at least on one version of this movie. I don't know what version that might be. I don't know if that is this version. But I do know that I paid like $2 or $3 here. It was probably something like $2.50 for Life of Pi on Blu-ray. And actually I enjoyed it quite a bit. A lot of people were saying that there's this overhanded religious undertone, I guess you could say, to the movie. And there is a heavy-handed religious undertone to this fucking movie throughout the entire damn thing. It's all about God, faith in God, everything God, God this, God that. But what I like about it is that the character here believes in many different gods. He believes in a lot of different gods. He calls them his superheroes. So from a certain point of view, it's almost like he doesn't know whether to believe in them or not either, because the very idea of a superhero is that you know these things don't exist, but they're cool anyways. You know what I mean? And throughout the movie, that's all I could keep thinking was just like, maybe he knows these things don't exist, but they're cool anyway, and they're really cool stories. And then when they get to the end of the movie, it almost kind of wrapped that up for me in a nice little bow. Like, yeah, which story did you prefer, you know? Whatever the case may be with this movie, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I got it for such a low price. Next, let's get to the next one already. I found, oh wait, yeah, this one did cost me $6. And I'm not too beat up about that because it's a Disney title. The Princess and the Frog on Blu-ray. This is one of the newer Disney animated features, and it is fucking fantastic. I love this movie. I actually went to see it in theaters, which drew a lot of attention from mothers who were taking their daughters to see the movie. This guy, almost in his 30s at the time, going alone to see this Disney movie in theaters. I don't want to talk about it, right? But it was awkward, all right? Unnecessarily awkward. Guy like me can't go to see movies like this because movies like this are intended for younger girls. So clearly that makes me a fucking pervert for wanting to see it. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. And yes, I absolutely loved this movie. Fantastic movie. And I'm glad that I have it in my collection now. I mean, heck, I did not think I was going to be able to find this for such a low price. But then I have found movies like Wall-E for a really low price as well. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But, you know, whenever I can find a movie like this in this good a condition for under $10, for significantly under $10, hell yeah, I'm going to go for it. Next up, this is actually one of the cheaper items. I think this came to like $2 total. And that was 2012. Apparently, I didn't even realize this was the version I was getting, but apparently it's the 2-disc special edition of 2012. So apparently this has a bunch of extra special features that I wasn't even bargaining for when I picked it up for $2. All I wanted was the movie, and I got the movie plus an extra disc full of special features. Okay, cool. I think it's a fun disaster flick. Isn't it done by Roland Emmerich? It is. It is in fact done by Roland Emmerich, the king of disaster flicks. And yeah, you can't go wrong in that sense. I do like watching me some disaster flicks every now and then. I've seen this one before, but I can see myself watching it again, maybe once every 3 or 4 years or something like that. And for $2 to get that into your collection, that's not a bad deal, honestly. It's not bad at all. So it's got the Blu-ray disc here. Sorry, why am I even covering up the freaking digital copy? It's a disc-based digital copy right there. And then you've got the digital copy right here, sorry. And this is the special features disc. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. 2-disc Blu-ray set for $2. 2012. Not bad. Next up, this was another one of the cheapo ones, and that was the Rum Diary. I saw this a few years ago and I absolutely freaking loved it. I love Johnny Depp in almost everything he does, and he was actually really freaking good in this. Shades of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but he plays a writer in this movie, and a guy who moves down to another country, entirely another world for him, and his life just completely changes, and it's just this crazy wild ride that he goes through. And as a writer, I kind of like the fact that it's this writer going through all this crazy shit. And yeah, pretty damn good story, pretty damn good movie, and for a few bucks, not a bad deal, and definitely one I'll watch again. Actually, came factory sealed, I might add. Was supposed to be used, came factory sealed. Next up, this one was like $4 or something like that, and that would be 61. This is a Billy Crystal movie. I believe he actually directed this movie. Yes, Billy Crystal directs movies. And it's a movie about Mickey Mantle and the struggles that he went through, and just, well, let's just read the synopsis. One was the Yankees' best loved player, the other was their most valuable. In the summer of 1961, Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle took on Babe Ruth's record, the 1927 single-season 60-home-run slam. It would be a summer that no one who loves baseball will ever forget. In 1961, Mickey Mantle was a Yankee favorite, the smiling sun god of the season and natural heir to his predecessors Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth. Also at bat is Roger Maris, a hard-hitting right fielder. Maris is Mantle's opposite in almost every way. Quiet and soft-spoken, he doesn't add up to everything a sports legend should be, and finds himself losing the support of the fans when he refuses to try. As the summer of 1961 unfolds, both Maris and Mantle find themselves approaching Babe Ruth's benchmark of 60 home runs, facing mounting pressure from the media and the stands, they both know there's only room for one winner. The people make their choice known, but the people's favorite isn't the favorite to win. So it's a really cool biopic baseball film. For anybody who likes good baseball movies, this is a fucking must. It's a fantastic baseball movie. Even if you don't care about baseball, this is just one of the. It's just really freaking good, and very well shot and interesting. The kind of stuff that they go into, the detail they go into, detail that they wouldn't normally go into for a movie about two classic, memorable, beloved heroes of the game, so to speak. So yeah, it really helps you to put perspective on the issues at hand in baseball today, and then what was going on at the time back when these heroes of baseball were playing. Spoiler, the same shit was going on back then. But yeah, it's just a really good movie, a surprisingly good movie, something that if you haven't heard about or haven't seen before, you definitely need to check out. Next up, I got for like, what was it, $3? I think it was like $3. Predators, the Robert Rodriguez Predators movie. Thank God my stupid fucking computer friend stopped doing that. Anyways, Robert Rodriguez is a freaking masterful storyteller. Maybe not masterful, but he's a pretty good filmmaker, and I enjoy a lot of the things that he's done in his career. I almost said history, but yes, career. And this is one of the movies that I really like that he did. I've never been a huge Predators fan, but I did like the first movie. Unfortunately, I don't want to get the first movie on Blu-ray because I don't want to support what has become known as literally the worst Blu-ray release in all fucking history. It is absolutely terrible. The transfer is god awful, and they will not fucking fix it. So fuck them. I'm not giving them my money until they actually fucking properly fix the goddamn transfer. So yeah, Predators here for $3. Not a bad deal just to get this movie at least in my collection. This one at least looks damn good on Blu-ray because it's a brand new fucking movie. But, you know, well, not brand new, but it's not 20, 30 years old like the other. So, you know, it's the same situation for me that I was having with Terminator Salvation, because at the time when I got Terminator Salvation, they had fucked up the transfer for the Terminator on Blu-ray. They had fucked up the transfer for Terminator 2. And I was just like, you know what? I was on limited funds at the time. I wanted the Terminator movie in my collection. I got Terminator Salvation because it looked fucking great on Blu-ray. Still does look fucking great. Similar situation with Predators here. Next up, I picked up this one, I think, for like $5 was The Kite Runner, based on the novel The Kite Runner. I like this movie and I like the story behind it. I never actually read the book that it's based on, but I really like getting the opportunity to see other cultures and what they're like, which I think is one of the reasons that I like Life of Pi so much, because it gives you that nuanced approach. It gives you a different look at other cultures that you might not always have the opportunity to see. And the Kite Runner definitely does give you that extra different approach, that different take on a culture that you're not very familiar with. So, you know, you only see so many interpretations of a culture if you're in a little bubble like you are in fucking America. You only see so many different interpretations of cultures from outside of the country. It's really nice to see movies like this because it gives you more depth, more understanding of how different these various different cultures across the world actually can be. So, yeah, one of the reasons I really like this movie, aside from the fact that it's just fucking fantastic. So, yeah, glad to have this in my collection. Also, especially glad that it didn't cost me too much money, because this one in particular, I have not been able to find for less than like $8 and I just did not want to pay that. Good movie, but I don't know if I want to pay $8 for it. Next up, we have The Master. This one was like between $4 and $6. I can't remember what the exact price was, but I watched this a few years ago with my good friend Skinslip, and We were both blown away. Absolutely fantastic movie. Lived up to expectations in every possible way. What can I say? Philip Seymour Hoffman is the freaking man. He was one of the greatest actors of his time. Definitely one of the greatest character actors of all time. And he really put on a show here for the master, as he tended, I guess you could say now, to do. I mean, aside from Capote, this was just like fucking bam. This was one of the best performances he ever did. And I really like Charlie Wilson's War. I think Charlie Wilson's War is some of his best work. But, in terms of something that people will accept as like a leading role for him, The Master is up there with Capote for one of his best roles. And fucking fantastic film at that. Absolutely love this movie. Fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, wait. This has a reversible cover? This has a reversible cover? Look at that. It has a reversible cover. Anchor Bay gave a reversible cover to The Master? I'm just now discovering this, you guys. Well, there you go. Philip Seymour Hoffman as the Master, so to speak. Fantastic movie. Glad to have it in my collection, especially for such a low price. Next up, we have one of the newer movies that I got. This one came to like $6 as well, but considering that it like just came out last year, I'm pretty happy with that. Selfless. I really wanted to check this movie out because, well, quite frankly, I mean, I'm not going to say that they totally ripped off my idea, but when I saw the trailer for this, it kind of pissed me off because it was one of those scenarios where, man, I had come up with a really great idea for a novel I wanted to write, and then suddenly I was seeing almost all of the elements of that novel that I wanted to write on the screen, in my face. Already having been acted out, already having been put to film. Fuck me, man. Fuck. And granted, that's going to happen no matter what you do, because nothing you ever make is going to be completely 100% original. It's all based on other things. This is based on something else that was probably the same kind of stuff that I was interested in when I came up with that idea. So it's not necessarily the same idea, but it's very similar. And because it's very similar, I really want to check this out and see if I like it. See if there's something I would have done differently or better, and then maybe take a different approach with that idea of mine. Who knows? But, it can't hurt to get a look at this and see how my idea compares to it and see if maybe I still want to keep going with that idea or not. Don't know for sure yet, but got to check this out to see if it is pretty much the idea that I had come up with, or if it's significantly different enough that I still want to try to do my own thing. So, yeah. Selfless looks really interesting. If you haven't heard anything about it, haven't seen anything about this movie, highly recommend checking out at least the trailer for it. Next up, we have the one double pack that I picked up, and that is Crank and Crank 2 High Voltage. This is a great movie series. It's one of those you really can't take it seriously. High octane action, out the wazoo, and intended as a joke. Hilarious action. Just ridiculous. Completely ridiculous movies here. And I love it for that. I love how ridiculous these movies are. For the same reason, I guess there are a lot of people who didn't like movies like Shoot 'Em Up. I love that movie because it was so goddamn ridiculous. I love the Crank movies because they're very similar in that same style, that same tone of filmmaking that's planted firmly in cheek, and just people having fun making a movie, an action movie that is fucking hilarious and fun and brilliant in a lot of fantastic ways. So, yeah, if you haven't actually seen Crank or Crank 2, where the hell have you been? They are fantastic movies, and you definitely should check them out. But if you have actually seen them, tell me what you think in the comments below. When it comes to Jason Statham, you can't really go all that wrong. He's not the best action actor ever, but in terms of modern day action stars, he's up there with some of the greats. I gotta say it. Gotta be completely honest about that. Next up, we have, for I believe another like $2 or so, Burn After Reading. This is a fantastic movie. It's also a Coen Brothers movie. So, whenever you can get a Coen Brothers movie for less than $5 on Blu-ray, then you should probably do it. Coen Brothers, fantastic filmmakers, and this is a really good movie from them. I wouldn't say it's their best, but it's definitely a lot of fun. It's definitely something that I can see myself checking out once or twice more in my life, if not more so. I could see myself watching this every few years, perhaps. Don't know for sure, but I do know that I enjoy the movie, especially enjoyed it enough to pay a couple of bucks just to put it in my collection. So, yeah, Burn After Reading, fantastic movie. Glad to finally have this in my collection, and in pretty damn good condition too. So, yeah, there's that. Next up, we have another one that I've been waiting for fucking ever to put in my collection, and that is Precious. I know this is a movie that gets like unfairly maligned, or people are always joking about it, yada yada yada, but it's a fucking fantastic film. I don't care what anybody says. The cinematography in this movie is fantastic. The acting in this movie is fucking amazing. Let's just say there's a reason she won that goddamn award, and she deserved to win that fucking award. I'm sorry, but she really fucking did. As much as I loved Gaboria Sidibe, the main role, the actress I should say in the main role, I think for me the standout performance was, of course, here, Monique. She was so fucking good in this movie. Just blew me away because I have never seen her do anything to that level before, ever. I've never seen her that fucking good. And then there was really we saw Mariah Carey in there at some point too. She plays a role that was just like, holy fucking shit. For the first few minutes that I was looking at her, I didn't even realize it was her. She changed that much for her role. She really put a lot of effort into that role, and it showed. And I was impressed. I was impressed with almost everything that I saw in this movie. Fucking loved it. Fantastic movie. And dirt cheap, by the way. It's like you can almost always find this for a really low price. And I think that's because Blockbuster had a bunch of these used rental copies that they sold for like $4 a piece. And then, of course, they went out of business. So they were selling for even cheaper than that. And, at some point, it just became devalued because of that. I blame Blockbuster almost entirely for the devaluation of this movie. But that being said, it's a fantastic movie, and I'm happy to finally have it in my collection. I don't know why I waited so fucking long, but it is one of those movies that just literally freaking destroys you. So it's not necessarily something you're going to be watching every goddamn year or all the fucking time. You're going to watch it sparsely, every now and then, because the acting is so phenomenal that you can't say no to it, but you know that it's going to destroy you, so you're also not necessarily looking forward to watching it all the freaking time. So yeah, Precious, fan-fucking-tastic movie. Glad to have it in my collection, even if I don't plan on watching it a whole bunch, And that's, I think, why I waited on it. That's why I waited for a really low price. I think I got that for like $2. Again, it's worth more than that. But for my purposes, for me, as somebody who's not going to watch it a lot because it destroys me when I watch it, but as somebody who still appreciates everything about the movie, yeah, $2 is definitely fucking worth it. Next up, a movie I actually kind of sort of talked shit about already in this video, and that is Terminator 3. I mainly picked this up because I already have Terminator 1, 2, and Terminator Salvation in my collection now, so I might as well get Terminator 3, and I highly doubt they're going to do a better version of this on Blu-ray. I really, really, really would be completely fucking surprised to see them do something with Terminator 3. I don't think they're going to reissue this at any point, ever again. I can't foresee the scenario in which that would happen or why it would happen. So I figured, fuck it, I'm going to get this for like $2-3 and just call it a day. So here it is. Finally have it in my collection. $2-3. Calling it a day. Finally got Terminator 3. This is one that I don't necessarily love. I don't necessarily hate. It's like a maybe 5.5 or 6 out of 10 for me. So it was really not one of my favorite Terminator movies. But if I want to watch all Terminator movies back to back, which I'm sure at some point in the future I probably will. I know myself well enough to know that I like to watch movies in a row like that. If that's the case, well, now I don't have to skip over Terminator 3 just because I don't have it. Now I have it, I can watch it, you know. There you go. Next up we have Safety Not Guaranteed, and this one was like $4 or $5, something like that. It was a pretty damn good price considering that this rarely goes for less than like $8 to $10, somewhere around there. It's a fairly new movie, and it's a independent film, and it didn't get as mass produced as some other independent films do nowadays. So yeah, I saw this, I believe, on Netflix a few years ago with my friend, with Brandon Skinslip, and we both fucking loved it. I mean, as I recall, it's a time machine movie. It's a movie about a fucking time machine. You can't go wrong with that. Time travel is awesome, and any concept of time travel in a movie is almost always freaking awesome. And in this movie, you've got Aubrey Plaza, right? That's her name? Aubrey Plaza. Yes, thank you, Brain. Aubrey Plaza. I love her. She's amazing. I loved her role in Parks and Rec, and I love her role in this movie. Everything she does is amazing. I even loved the Christmas, what was it? Grumpy Cat Christmas. I even loved Grumpy Cat Christmas, which she played the voice of Grumpy Cat in that movie. So yeah, I what can I say? She is an amazing actress, and I love her face, and I love her voice, and I love everything she does. And that probably sounds creepy. I don't necessarily intend it to sound creepy. I'm just saying I like her as an actress. She's a really good actress. Yeah. She's hilarious. She's got this sense of comedy that you rarely ever see in comedians nowadays, so, or in actors for that matter. So yeah, really cool to see her in a lot of movies nowadays. Really cool to see her in this movie. Fan-fucking-tastic movie. Glad to have it in my collection. $5 or somewhere around there. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. I think the lowest price I've actually seen on this is $6.66 in a 3 for $20 deal. So yeah, less than that right here. And finally, last but not least, I picked up yet another movie that I've been waiting far too long to pick up. This one I didn't want to pay too damn much for, and I just kept waiting on it because it's one of those movies that's so mass-produced that you can find it pretty much anywhere for less than $5, and I found it here for like $2 to $3 or something like that. And I said, you know what, it's time. Like with a lot of these movies that I've been waiting years on that I picked up in this haul, it's time. It was finally time to pick up Ray. This movie is fucking fantastic. Jamie Foxx really showed me something with this movie. He did a fan-fucking-tastic job with this movie. I would pair this with like Walk the Line, which also came around the same time. Both fantastic movies about amazing musicians and their lives. And this was just, I mean, how can I say fantastic again? It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I don't know what else to say. It's one of the best films I have ever seen. One of the best films I ever saw. There. Joel Siegel, Good Morning America. Really? Really? You had to put the quote from the guy from Good Morning America on the cover? God fucking damn it. But I mean, hey, it won a lot of awards, and for good reason. It's just a really well done movie. Absolutely love it. Maybe it's a tad overrated, but that doesn't mean it's not a good movie. That doesn't mean it's not a movie that I would... It's not one of those movies I'm never going to watch again. I knew that I wanted to watch this again at some point, and now I can, and I didn't have to pay too much for that right either. Paid a couple of bucks, and now it's in my collection. So there you go. That does it. That is the complete haul that I picked up from SecondSpin here for a total of about 60 bucks or so. Not a bad haul if I do say so myself. There are a couple titles in here that, you know, you're not going to find them for that low price ever. Princess and the Frog was like $6. That was a really good deal. 61, that's a title that rarely goes for less than 10, and that was like $5. Let's see here. Kite Runner was also a pretty good deal. The Master. Selfless, that one's fairly new, and I haven't seen it for less than 10 myself. Safety Not Guaranteed was a pretty good deal there. I mean, there were some really good deals here to be had, and I couldn't say no because I have an addiction. An addiction, I tell you. An addiction to collecting Blu-rays and to movies, for that matter. Just an addiction to movies, to watching movies. I mean, it seems like there are some nights that go by that I don't watch a movie, right? But then there are other nights where I watch 2, 3, maybe even 4 movies in one night. So... I mean, that's just the way it goes for me. That's just the way the cookie crumbles when you're a movie buff. And if you're a movie buff like me, you want to have a bunch of movies that you love in your collection, so that even if you fall on hard times, even if you can't afford to go out to the theaters, or you can't afford to pay for cable, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're always going to have a huge selection of movies that you know you fucking love right on your shelf. That's what this is all about, baby. Anyways, that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.